let's just start by rolling the shoulders. Just notice any tightness or tension. You might like to switch directions. Or you might just do one side at a time, noticing if there's more tension on one side than the other. Let's take our hands up and we'll just involve our elbows a little bit now. Big circles. And we'll come back the other way. You might like to just shake out hands. Just let the wrist be as loose as you can, maybe side to side, up and down, any direction. And let's roll the wrists. And just to get our energy moving, we're going to take really tight fists, draw the fingers together so there's no space between the fingers. And just see if you can keep that fist, but as you keep the fist, relax through the jaw, through the shoulders, through the elbows. So it's just, all the tension is just in your hands. You might realize that you start to clench your jaw again or hold your breath. So just keep scanning through the body. Try and relax every other part of the body. But keep those fingers squeezing in. You might like to take a few big sighs. And when you're ready, we're going to flick out. And just shake out. All right, we're going to be using our fingers a little bit today on our neck and shoulder massage. So just good to get the energy moving. We move from our fingers back into our body. Feel our chi moving through the body. Let's create last little bit of heat all around, just giving your hands a big dry wash. Okay, we're going to start today. Very simple movement. We'll take one arm out and just turn your chin towards that hand, palm face up. And we're going to turn our chin to the other shoulder as we roll our hand over, just as far as it wants to go. And then turn our chin back as we turn our palm up. You might like to visualize just like a screw is turning and the lever of your arm is controlling the turn of the chin. Inhaling to look back to the palm. Exhaling as we turn away. Listening to the quality of our breath. One more time. And this time as we come back, we're going to bend our elbow, take that hand in between our shoulder blades at the back. Everyone's shoulder's a little bit different shape, so just let it land wherever it lands. It might be the back of your neck. And then our other arm, we're going to bend underneath, bringing our knuckles to our lumbar spine. And then just see if you can raise those knuckles up a little bit higher. Just honor the range of movement you have in your own shoulders. Everyone is a little different. So you might find you can bring your fingers together. You might find you just take a hold of your shirt and just take a few breaths here. That elbow raises as high as it can without drawing too much tension into the body. In yoga, they call this the cow face pose. We'll take one more breath. And then extend the arms out wide. We're going to take a few small circles. And then bring the arms down. And just shake out arms. Notice how you feel. Maybe something shifts just a little. Let's extend our other arm out. Looking towards the palm, palm face up, roll the thumb back. Take a breath in. And then turning the chin, rolling the arm. Inhale, look back. Exhale. Find that rhythm with your breath. All right, this time, just like we did on the other side, bend the arm in, find the back of the shoulders or the back of the neck. Lift the elbow as high as you can. With the other hand, we bring our knuckles to our spine. Now, you might notice straight away, you don't have the same range of movement on this side. Maybe it's a little easier, maybe it's a little harder. Just notice that sense of body not being quite even. Maybe your fingers come together, or maybe you just take a hold of your shirt and just take a few breaths. Make sure your jaw is relaxed. Just invite your attention back to the breath. One more breath. And then we'll extend our arms again, small circles. You might like to change direction. And arms are probably starting to feel a little heavy, so let's shake them out. Might like to take one arm down and just let it be really heavy. And then float back up, take a breath, and then the other arm, shake it out. What can we notice about our chi, the energy flowing through our body on this day? All right, let's explore muscles in our neck a little bit. We're going to start with the scalene muscles, which is that big ropey muscle that goes down the side of your neck. You can't really miss it. Scalene is actually a group of muscles. And to explore it, we're going to use the flat part of our thumb. So not the tip, the flat part at the front. And essentially we'll start by turning our chin, cupping our chin on that one side, holding it in place. And we'll bring the flat part of our thumb right to the side of the neck. So you might come just a little behind the scalenes. So we're going to just use the natural oil of our skin to allow our thumb to slide up. You might notice a point of tightness or tension. Just stop there. Just take a breath and then keep going. And we're going to finish just underneath our occipital bone, that big bone at the base of the skull. Can't really miss it. There's a little hollow in your neck just underneath it. So you might find that hollow. Maybe take a few small circles. And then bring the thumb down just above the collarbone. Start again. Feeling into the movement. Many neurons, neural transmitters sending messages through our body, from our brain to our heart and gut. And all of our body, and of course back from gut and heart to the brain. These messages travel 400 kilometers an hour, apparently. Just notice any blockages, any points of tightness or tension that may be impacting on how those messages are sent in our body. And we'll just take one more go. Might finish just underneath that big bone at the base of the skull. And just let the palm down and bring the hands down. Notice how your body feels right now. Might feel a little lopsided, maybe, maybe not. All right, let's cup our chin, turn it to the other shoulder. Flat part of the thumb starts just above the collarbone, exploring that muscle, just trace it. Whenever we bring our attention to something, it changes. We notice this when we bring our attention to our breath, that it often slows. So as we do things like this, don't so much think you're trying to fix or change. Just think about it as bringing our attention to something. When we bring our attention to muscle tension, we're inviting our energy to flow back through somewhere that might be stuck or stiff or sore, tense or stressed. And we'll just take maybe one more run at it. Remembering just to stop if you find a spot of tension, just stop, take a breath. And then invite that chi to flow back through, flows through the fascia, the connective tissue that wraps around our skeleton. All right, when you're ready, just leave that thumb there. Bring the head back, bring the arms down. All right, let's just roll our neck a little bit. Notice how we feel. Maybe neck is a little longer, maybe not. All right. Let's take one ear down to our shoulder and keep the shoulder heavy. We don't want to shrug it up. That's a different muscle. And we're going to draw our chin into the chest. Take our chin all the way to the other shoulder. And then just come up halfway. No need to lean back. And then we'll take a few circles here. You might like to return the other direction. Okay, so now we are going to explore this muscle that is our levator scapulae. So the one that's just kind of on the bulging bit on the side of our neck next to the scalenes. And very simple, this one. All we're going to do is lift our shoulders, big shrug, big I don't know, and just hold them up there just for a moment. And when you're ready, just let it go. Shake out arms if you like. Okay, big shrug again. Big, I am empty. Letting go of all the stress, all the tension in my day. And maybe one more. Empty, empty, empty. All right. Now, right next to our levator scapulae, this big muscle that goes on the top of our shoulder is our trapezius. And you might like to wrap an arm across the body And just find that spongy muscle. You might just explore it for a moment. So it attaches to the shoulder joint. So if you find your shoulder joint come back across, you'll find your trapezius. And then it goes down the inside of our shoulder blade, in between our shoulder blade and our spine as well. So it's a big muscle. And just explore a little bit. Now we're going to find an acupressure point. This is gallbladder 21, and it's right in the middle between our neck and our shoulder. So just trace the kind of halfway point. You might find it if you found somewhere that feels a little tense or tight, and you probably have found it. And we're just going to press in there with our fingers. And don't worry too much if you don't feel like you're in the exact right spot. We're just exploring our body, just noticing how we feel. And once you've found the spot, just press in with the fingers. And we're going to start to move our other arm. So we might take it up. We might take it down, behind. And you'll notice the sensation will change a little. You might like to roll the hand over, take it behind. This is pronation and supination of our arm. So just notice all the little movements that our arm might do during the day. Where is the tension? Now, with this hand, you can change the spot. You might like to move just a centimeter left or right. So just explore. Noticing wherever we might be stuck. And you might change the spot a couple of different times. And when you're ready, just shake it out. Let go. Just come back up. Notice how you feel again. Maybe a little lopsided. One of the most important things of practice is just the time after we move something, just to notice that it's shifted. So often we just rush to the next thing in life, never giving our body time to repair or to understand itself. Let's sweep our opposite arm across. Find that point halfway between neck and shoulder. And when you press in, you might start to just move the other arm. There's no right or wrong way to place it. Our shoulder joint is a ball and socket joint, which means it can kind of move in every direction, as you notice. Many muscles attached to it. And whenever you're ready, you might shake out that side too. And let's bring our palms back onto the body. You might like to just roll your neck, just notice. Okay, we might do, let's do a couple more muscles. We'll do our sternocleidomastoid, very much a mouthful, often just called our SCM muscle for obvious reasons. It's the one, it attaches, it's just kind of comes from underneath the ear and it kind of curls around and attaches to the very middle of your sternum. So the top of your clavicle here. Now, you're probably like, what is this muscle? I'll never find it. The easiest way to find it is just to turn your chin, because it's the one that you use when you're turning your chin. And when you look to the side, you'll find that there's a muscle, you can trace it, curls around. And we're just going to see if we can kind of hook our fingers behind it a little bit. Follow it down. Might feel a little tender, a little strange. But just feel like you're kind of coming a little bit behind the muscle and just releasing it. You might turn your head back and notice that it lets go. And then we'll come back to the center. And then same on the other side. So just turn your neck. Just hook your fingers behind. Take all the time you need. Just keep breathing. No rushing. Let's come back, and we're just going to just do a little thing that I like to do when I release that muscle a little bit, which is open and close my jaw. And it can feel a little bit awkward. And then we'll bring our fingers up and we're just going to tap right on the edge of our jaw. So this is our temporomandibular joint, TMJ. And you might like to just open and close your mouth or take a big O if you like. And just trace the jawline down a little towards the chin. A lot of our neck tension is often to do with grinding teeth. Mind is very busy at night. Actually more active often than during the day. All right, let's do a couple more for our head. Let's just keep going with the head. We'll take fingers in two V shapes, so two fingers together, and then bring them up either side of the neck. So there's a big kind of clunky bone that's just behind your ear. And just underneath that bone is our anion point. And we're going to see if we can just push up from that point, pushing up either side of our ear. So we might feel a sense of lengthening in the neck. Tuck in your chin as you do this. You might like to just follow a deep breath in, deep breath out, and just slow the movements. And we'll bring our palms together. And this time we're going to comb through the hair. So just pressing into the skull. You might like to tap any loose bits of restless thought. Just find wherever they might be. The amygdala is the part of our brain that is the smoke alarm that kind of tells us when we're in danger, when there's something wrong, releases all the stress hormones in the body. So often when we do this, we're just kind of Sending the message to our amygdala that everything is okay at this moment. You might like to kind of shampoo or scratch. Just notice the feeling. When you're ready, shaking out again, just sighing out, getting rid of any of that kind of loose, restless energy. So we're going to connect with a couple of very famous acupressure points in our body. And we'll just do them one by one and we'll see how we go. We're going to start with one for our heart meridian. And it might feel a little bit odd, but we're going to lift one arm up and effectively just cup your hand and come in underneath your armpit. Body has a lot of lymph in this part of our body. Lymph is the part of our cells that we get rid of. Just releasing toxins, things we don't need. And we'll bring that arm down. Let's come straight to the other side. And letting the arms down. We'll do a point for our kidneys now. So just bring your hands to the lumbar spine for a moment, just warming the body at the back. We're going to go right to the start of our kidney meridian, our bubbling spring point, that's called kidney number 1. To get there, we need to lift one of our feet. So you might just take your foot over the knee if you can. And literally just like we did, connecting with just underneath the ball of the foot. All right, let's bring our hands back. So we're moving energy through our kidney meridian. Let's come to the start of the other side, lift the leg over. And one more time, rubbing on the kidneys. One last point we'll do is stomach 36. And it's just below the knee on the outside of the leg. And this one we're going to do with a little bit of a kind of karate chop. So if you find the point first, it's on the outside of your shin, a few finger widths down from the knee. So just feel down here. And we're just going to come in with the kind of knife edge of our hands. And you might like to just focus on your breath. Breathing in. Sighing out. This is a point for extra energy, often called the extra mile point. And when you're ready, slowly come back up. And we'll bring our palms together again. Okay, so we've been working a lot on shoulder muscles, on neck muscles, and just trying to release tension in the body. We're going to finish in a grounded way, lying on the ground. So you might like to just move the chair out the way. And if you do have your ball, just join me on the ground. So if you have a big ball, you might be able to just be flat to the floor. You might want to have a block or something that can just raise your head level a little so that there's no pressure on your neck. We're going to start with just bringing the ball directly into the middle of the neck and just letting the ball be heavy, letting the head be heavy. And take your attention to your tailbone. So that kidney area that we just moved energy through is flat to the ground. You might like to roll your pelvic bone forward and back. As you sigh out, spine is relaxed. Head sinks down. The ball is right in the middle of the neck. Take a few breaths here. Let's slowly lift the head up. We're going to take the ball now to underneath one of our occipital bones. So just almost to the side of where it just was. So turn the neck to one side and find that big bone at the base of the skull, just underneath that. Bring the ball, and you might like to just let your head be heavy again. Big sigh. This is our gallbladder number 20. The wind pool, the feng shi. Place where we hold so much tension. Just let the head be heavy. And then we'll shift the ball over, turn the neck to the other side, same point on the other side, just that hollow in the side of your neck, just under the big bone. Let the head be heavy. Take a few breaths here. Whole body is surrendering. And when you're ready, take that ball out. We're just going to do one more today. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to use my double ball. If you only have one ball, just bring it on one side of the spine and then we'll switch it over. So we're going to release our rhomboids. So right in between the shoulder blades, kind of directly behind your chest. Just bring the ball there. And you're just doing one side, just do one side for a few breaths. Just let your upper body be heavy, tailbone heavy. And then you might move the ball over to the other side. And if you're wondering where you get a double ball from, you can just put 2 tennis balls inside a sock. You don't actually have to go to the double ball shop. And as we release our rhomboids, just let your shoulders curl over. Take a breath. Sighing out, letting go. And when you're ready, we'll remove those balls. Draw our knees into the chest. And maybe a little rock side to side. And you might even like to turn your neck side to side, just noticing any new freedom that you have. Let's roll onto the side of our body. And let's take a breath or two here. And we'll take our hand under the shoulder, slowly press up. One last time once we're seated, palms together. And of course, just bringing our hands to heart center. Moment in gratitude for choosing to practice on this day. Just thanking ourselves for being here. And of course, bowing to each other, acknowledging shared energy of practice together.